To Vedanta Jnana Yajna 3.2. Let us continue with the thought flow. We are probably discussing, contemplating on one of the most important questions mankind has ever faced. The question is who we truly are. Vedanta Shastra says, in the ignorance of the true knowledge of who we are, we become something so different than what we are, identified with the physical, the mental, the intellectual, the personalities, as well as the world around us. Let us continue the thought process forward and explore it for ourselves, who we truly are. Kindly join me in the Shanti Mantra, which starts with the universal sound of Om. Let us join our palms, our minds and ourselves together in chanting Om.
Sahana vavatu sahano bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Om Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
The thought flow continues. What is the self? What is Ātmā? It is not the three bodies. It is different from the five sheaths, a witness to the three states of consciousness, that is awareness, and it is of the nature of existence, consciousness, bliss. This week we discuss the 5 sheaths called the Pañcha Kosha. When the Mumukshu inquired,
Pañcha Kosha kaha?
The answer was given,
annamaya, prāṇamaya, manomaya, vijñānamaya, annamaya cheti.
To translate the same in English, what are the 5 sheaths? This was the inquiry. The answer was, they are the food sheath known as annamaya, the vital air sheath known as prāṇamaya, the mental sheath manomaya, the intellect sheath vijñānamaya, and the bliss sheath ānandamaya. The same 3 bodies that we discussed last week are also explained from a different point of view over here. This is purely for the benefit of the students' understanding. In the following chart, you will see how the 5 sheaths, the koshas, are the same as the 3 bodies. It is said that the self is beyond the 5 koshas, the 5 sheaths or the 5 coverings. On the inquiry, what is the food sheath? Annamaya kaha?
Annamaya kaha? Annarasenaiva bhutva annarasenaiva vriddhim prapya annaswarupa prithivyam yad viliyate tad annamaya koshaha sthula shariram.
It was said, that which is born from the essence of food grows by the essence of food and finally merges into earth, which is the nature of food, is called the food sheath or the gross body. The word maya must be noted. In annamaya, it suggests modification. The body is a result of the food modification and is called annamaya. Food we consume is digested and its essence contributes to the formation of sperm and ovum. These combine to create the seed from which the fetus develops. Nourished by the mother's food, the child is born and grows with the help of the food consumed. Throughout life, we consume significant amounts of food. Eventually, we merge into the earth, which becomes the food we eat. We are born from food and return to food. Food is both consumed by beings and consumes beings. We eat food and food in turn consumes us. We all know overeating can lead to death, and even while alive, our bodies are consumed by viruses, bacteria, and other organisms. When we die, worms and other beings feed on our bodies. The soil, in turn, becomes food for others. Therefore, identifying with the food sheath, we say, I am tall, I am fair, and so on. This is the way we get identified with the body, which is principally a product of food. We all know what food is. At the same time, we also know what the body is. That means, just as we know the food, we know the body. Then, if food is not me, how can the body be me? Now, the prāṇamaya kosha, the vital air sheath. When the question was asked, prāṇah kaha, the following answer was given.
prāṇamaya kaha prāṇādhyaha panchavayavaha vāgādi indriya panchakam prāṇamaya kosha.
To translate in English, the question, what is vital air sheath? Prāṇamaya kaha. The answer, it consists of the 5 physiological functions such as prāṇa and the others, and the 5 organs of action such as speech and others, together forming the vital air sheath. Vital air sheaths, let me enumerate them to you. They are also on your screen. The 5 vital air sheaths called as prāṇas, they start with prāṇa, apāna, vyāna, udāna and samāna. Please note, the root word āna is common in all 5, which signifies movement. Here, let me enumerate the 5 organs of actions. They are known as the karmendriyas. They include 1. Vak, speech, responsible for the power of speech and communication. 2. Pani, hands, facilitates the ability to grasp, hold and manipulate objects. 3. Pada, feet, enables movement and locomotion. 4. Payu, anus, controls the elimination of waste from the body. 5th, upastha, reproductive organs, governs procreation as well as the sexual activities. These organs of action work in conjunction with the vital airs to facilitate various physical activities and functions. Each of the 5 prāṇas, they represent a different kind of action. Let me get it to your attention. Prāṇa represents the upward movements of respiration, meaning from the navel to the nose, that means inhalation and exhalation. It is the power of action and reception of knowledge. 2nd, apāna governs the downward movements from the navel to the excretory organs. It is the power of elimination. 3rd, samāna represents the process of digestion and assimilation of knowledge. Vyana represents the pervading energy that provides nutrition and circulation to all parts of the body. And finally, Udana represents the upward and outward movement, such as burping, sneezing. It acts as a reverse action and is associated with also the ejection of the individual self at the time of death. These 5 vital airs are essential for sustaining life. They function continuously from birth to death, even during sleeping. If any of them were to completely stop, it would result in death. They connect the subtle body to the gross body and provide energy to both. When these vital airs function efficiently, the body remains healthy. The senses are sharp. The organs of action are strong and the mind is alert. The combination of the 5 vital airs and the organs of action is known as the prāṇamaya kosha. When identifying with them, a person may say, I am hungry, I am thirsty, and so on. However, we say that I am hungry, I am thirsty, but we are the knower of the body being hungry, of the body being thirsty. If I know that the body is hungry, I can't be the body. Therefore, in this case, the prāṇamaya kosha is also not me. So, we come to manomaya kosha. One may think that of course, the knower of all these annamaya kosha and the prāṇamaya kosha must be the mind, manomaya kosha. Let us inquire. The thought flow continues. The manomaya kosha, mental sheath.
Manomaya kaha manascha jnanendriya panchakam militva yo bhavati sah manomaya kosha.
The inquiry, what is the mental sheath, manomaya kosha? The answer is given. It is formed by the mind and the 5 organs of perception coming together. The 5 organs of perception are known as jnanendriyas. 1. Chakshu, the eyes, responsible for visual perception and sight. 2nd. Shotra, the ears, facilitates auditory perceptions and hearing. 3rd. Ghrana, nose, enables olfactory perception and sense of smell. 4th. Juha, the tongue, governs gustatory perception and sense of taste. Finally, Tvaka, skin, which is the biggest, longest organ of perception in the body. Skin is responsible for the tactile perception and sense of touch. These organs of perception work together with the mind to gather information and experiences from the external world. The mind serves as the seat of emotions such as anger, jealousy, love, compassion, and much more. It consists of thoughts in a state of volition, like deciding whether to read or not to read, or determining if something is enjoyable or not, and so on. The mind is responsible for perceiving the objects of the world through the senses. If the mind is not focused, the sense organs cannot effectively receive the stimuli. To give you an example, even if our eyes are open, we may miss what is in front of us if our mind is elsewhere. The mind directs the organ of action to respond to the world. Identifying with the mental sheath, we say, I am happy, I am unhappy, and so on. However, The self itself is beyond happiness or unhappiness. It is of the nature of pure bliss. Then, how can the mind be me? The vijñānamaya kosha, intellect sheath.
vijñānamaya kaha buddhirjnanendriyapanchakam militva yo bhavati sah vijñānamaya kosha.
To explain in English, the question was asked, what is vijñānamaya kosha? The answer was given, it is formed by the intellect and the five organs of perception coming together. The intellect or the intellectual sheath is subtler than and pervades the previous three, the annamaya, the prāṇamaya and the manomaya kosha. It not only controls, it also influences the other three sheaths. It comprises the intellect and the five organs of perception. The five senses are common to the both mental and the intellectual sheath, as perception involves both the mind and intellect together. The intellect encompasses thoughts within a framework of decision making. In the intellect, the first manifestation of ignorance of the self arises as the notion I am the doer, I am finite, and so on. From these notions, other concepts like I am tall, I am hungry, I am happy, and so forth emerges. However, knowledge of the self also takes place in the intellect, as in the understanding that I am infinite or I am pure happiness. The intellect serves as the seat of values in life based on which we navigate the world. Our actions, pursuits, and cherishing are influenced by the values we hold. For instance, if one determines that money is everything and must be acquired, their actions align with that belief. The intellect discerns between right and wrong, real and unreal, and more. It encompasses the capacity for innovation, creation, discovery, visualization, and imagination. The mind carries the sense perceptions to the intellect. Drawing from previous experiences, the intellect recognizes, understands, and decides on the appropriate course of action. It communicates this information through the mind to the organs of actions and promotes the body into action. Consequently, the intellect is often referred to as the driver of the vehicle of the body. The vital air, the mental, and the intellectual sheath together constitute the subtle body. It is important to note that during such analysis, the mind and intellect are categorized as two distinct entities. However, they are two names given to thought modifications based on their respective functions. That is, the mind feels while the intellect thinks. In common parlance, they are also referred as the heart and the head respectively. I am the knower of the intellect. I am the knower of the mind. I am the knower of the body. When I am the knower of the body, the mind and intellect, I am the knower of the annamaya, prāṇamaya, manomaya, vijñānamaya kosha. Meaning, I am the knower of the gross body as well as the subtle body. Then how can I be any of them? Therefore, even the subtle body as well as the gross body cannot be me. I am something different than that. Let us further find out what we truly are. Finally, we reach to the annamaya kosha. It sounds more important than any of the other koshas. Maybe we are Anandamaya Kosha. Let us find out. The thought flow continues. Anandamaya Kosha, the bliss sheath. On the screen, you see the mantras.
Anandamaya kaha evameva karanasharira bhuta avidyastaha malina sattvam priyadivritti sahitam sat anandamaya kosha etat kosha panchakam.
Upon the query, what is bliss sheath, Anandamaya Kaha? The answer given was, it is established in ignorance, which is of the form of the causal body, of impure nature, and united with thoughts like Priya and others. This is the bliss sheath, along with the other 4 sheaths. These are the 5 sheaths. The subtlest and the most pervasive among them is the bliss sheath, also known as the causal body. It is characterized by ignorance of both the world and the self. Yet it is endowed with the bliss of the self. Just as darkness envelops the world during the night, causing all objects and their distinct characteristics to merge into it without being destroyed. Similarly, during deep sleep, when only the causal body is active, all dualities, the ego, anxiety, agitation, the world, and the subtle as well as the gross body merge into total ignorance. Just as the reflection of the sun in water appears sharp and brighter when the water is cleaner and steadier. Similarly, the bliss of the self is reflected in the mind when it is pure and tranquil, in the state of deep sleep where there are no more any thought modification. The bliss of the self manifests fully. However, due to ignorance, it is said to be of an impure nature. Even in the waking state, a pure, calm, that means sattvic, a pure, calm mind experiences greater joy compared to an agitated, meaning rajasic, or dull, meaning tamasic mind. Remember these words. Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. They are all going to come in the next stage of our talks. Going further. It should be noted that all experienced joys are reflections of the bliss of the self alone. In the state of deep sleep, there are no degrees of bliss. However, in waking and dream states, we experience various qualities and intensities of joy. There is sattvic joy of witnessing a sunrise, the rajasic joy of engaging in a thriller, movie, or an experience, and the tamasic joy of causing harm or speaking badly to others. The joy experienced when thinking of a beloved or an object of your liking or a person whom you love dearly. This joy which is experienced is called as Priya. The intensity of joy increases when we obtain that object or meet the beloved person. This joy is called as moda. The maximum joy is experienced when we fully enjoy the object or become one with the beloved. This union, this joy of union is called pramoda. Priya, moda, pramoda. Kindly keep these words in your mind. In the future sessions, we will be speaking on them. In the waking and in the dream, we have these three different qualities, different degrees of joy. However, in this state, meaning in the annamaya kosha or the causal body, there is no duality between the enjoyer and the enjoyed. Only pure enjoyment. Therefore, the five sheaths form a covering that conceals the jewel of the self within its folds. They are either made up of or are modifications of the five elements. They are born and also perish. They are distinct from the pure self. I am beyond all modification, unborn, immortal, and the witness of all. Thus, we are distinct from the five sheaths. The thought flow still needs to continue because up till now we have completed the definition only halfway, the definition of what is Ātmā. We have now finished with the part which says that I am not this, I am different from these, and I am a witness of these. Meaning, I am not the three bodies, I am not the five koshas, and I am the witness of the three states of awareness. Then, yet, it is not directly indicated what Ātmā is. This we take up in the next session with an explanation of what is known as Swarupa Lakshana. Kindly join me in the end prayers, which are from the Upanishad. They are the Shanti mantras. Let us pray to Bhagwan that our study does not remain just as an intellectual exercise, but literally transforms us to look deeper into us, deeper more than just the layers of personality that we are, that we think we are, into the truth that we are. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.